Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Miss Hensky and today we are going to get ready to work in our iReady writing books. And the book that we are going to be working with today is called What Lives in a Shell? The author is Kathleen Weidner Zoehfeld and the illustrator is Helen K. Davey. This kind of looks like the book that we read about the fish, so I'm wondering if there's going to be a lot of information in here. Let's open it up and find out. Do you know what this is? It is as hard as a stone, but it is not a stone. It is smooth like glass, but it is not glass. It is hollow inside like a cup, but it is not a cup. It is a shell. An animal made it. The shell was the animal's home. You live in a house or in an apartment building. That is your home. Your home helps keep you safe and warm. Lots of animals have homes. Birds build nests. Ants make tunnels underground. And a bear likes to live in a cave. Here is the animal that lives in this kind of shell. It is a land snail. A land snail is born with a tiny shell. As long as the snail lives, it keeps on growing. As the snail grows, its shell grows with it. The shell keeps the snail safe. So let's look at the part of a snail. Over here we have the foot. And what's this part called again? The shell, good job. Here are the eyes. Here's the head. So the eyes stick way out far from the head. Right here we have a little mouth, and here we have tentacles, and they are for smelling and for feeling. You can go in and out of your home. You can run to the playground and you can wait outside for the bus. A snail never leaves its home. It takes its home with it wherever it goes. The snail pokes its soft head and its one big foot out of the opening in its shell. It uses its foot to inch along. A snail is slow. Birds like to eat snails. When a bird or other enemy comes around, a snail cannot run away. It pulls its head and foot inside its shell and closes the door. The snail is safe. Other kinds of animals live in shells too. Shells come in many shapes, colors, and sizes. Turtles live in shells. A turtle's shell can be bumpy or smooth. Most are rounded on the top and flat on the belly. Baby turtles have little shells. As the babies grow bigger, their shells grow bigger. A turtle has 4 legs. It pokes its legs, head, and tail through the openings in its shell. Even though it has 4 legs, a turtle is slow. Have you ever had a turtle race? If a frog and a turtle were in a race, who do you think would win? What about a cat and a turtle? If a turtle sees a cat, it may be frightened. It may think that the cat wants to eat it. A turtle cannot run as fast as a cat. The turtle pulls its head and legs and tail into its shell. The cat pats the turtle with its paw. The turtle won't come out. It is safe in its shell home. When you go to the seashore, you can find many different kinds of shells. You may see a crab walking on the sand. A crab has 10 legs. On its front legs are 2 claws. A hard shell covers its claws and the rest of its body. A crab's shell fits like a suit of armor. The armor helps keep the crab safe from enemies. But just as you outgrow your favorite shirt, a crab outgrows its shell. When it gets too tight, the crab pulls itself out. Underneath is a new shell. That is very interesting. The other animals that we learned about did not do that. You may find snails buried in the sand. Some of them do not look much like the land snails. Whelks and conches are types of snails that are found only by the sea. Here are some different kinds of sea snail shells. So on the Pacific coast, that's on the opposite side of our country where California is. And so these are the types of shells that you would see out there. But if you went to the beach here on the Atlantic coast, you might see some shells that look like this. Have you ever gone to the beach and found a shell that looks like those? I've seen lots of these shells and I've seen lots of these shells. Have you ever seen a snail shell walking along on crab legs? A hermit crab has hard claws in front, but the back end of its body has a soft shell. Its shell is too soft to keep it safe from enemies. A hermit crab lives in an empty snail shell. After a while, the hermit crab grows too big for his shell. So he looks for a bigger one. Some are too big. Some are too small. Finally, he finds one he likes. He throws away the old shell and crawls into the new one. Now the new shell is his home. The snail shell helps keep him safe. You can look for clam and oyster shells at the beach too. Clams and oysters are animals. They have no legs. They do not have heads or tails. Their bodies are soft, but they are animals. Clams and oysters grow 2 hard shells. The top shell and bottom shell look almost alike. The 2 shells are connected by a hinge. Scallops also have 2 shells. Here are some different kinds of scallop shells. Most clams and oysters hardly move at all. They open up their shells to take in food and water. They close their shells tightly when enemies are around. Some scallops can swim. A scallop does not swim like a fish though. First, it opens up its 2 shells, then it snaps them together quickly. This gets the scallop where it needs to go. When you find a shell, carefully look inside. It will probably be empty. If a shell is empty, it may mean the animal has died or it has outgrown the shell and left it behind. If the animal is at home, you can watch it for a while. See if you can tell how it eats. How does it move? What does it do when it feels frightened? When you go, leave the animal where you found it. Animals are happiest in their natural surroundings. If a shell is empty, you can take it home with you. If you are looking at shells in a state or national park, be sure to ask a ranger or game warden before you take any shells from the park. Try to find as many different kinds of shells as you can. Whether the shells you find are big or small, plain or fancy, remember a shell is someone's home. All right, everybody, go ahead and move on to the next page where you will find your iReady assignments in your book. Have fun.